If you don't know what diabetes is a serious chronic condition. It is a condition that impairs the body's ability to produce blood glucose, otherwise known as blood sugar. According to medicalnews.com, there are three major types of diabetes: type 1, type 2, and gestational diabetes. What is type 1 diabetes? This type occurs when the body fails to produce insulin. People with type 1 diabetes are insulin dependent, which means they must take artificial insulin daily to stay alive. On the other hand, type 2 diabetes affects the way the body uses insulin. While the body still makes insulin, unlike in type 1, the cells in the body do not respond to it as effectively as they once did. This is the most common type of diabetes, according to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, and it has strong links with obesity. Last but not least, gestational diabetes. This type occurs in women during pregnancy, when the body can become less sensitive to insulin. Gestational diabetes does not occur in all women and usually resolves after giving birth. There is no exact cause for type 1 diabetes, but what is known is that your immune system, which normally fights harmful bacteria or viruses, attacks and destroys your insulin-producing cells in the pancreas. This leaves you with little or no insulin at all. Instead of being transported into your cells, sugar builds up in your bloodstream. In type 2 diabetes, your cells become resistant to the action of insulin, and your pancreas is unable to make enough insulin to overcome this resistance. Instead of moving into your cells where it's needed for energy, sugar builds up in your bloodstream. The causes of gestational diabetes is during pregnancy. The placenta produces hormones to sustain your pregnancy. These hormones make your cells more resistant to insulin. Normally, your pancreas responds by producing enough extra insulin to overcome this resistance, but sometimes your pancreas can keep up. When this happens, too little glucose gets into your cells and too much stays in your blood, resulting in gestational diabetes. According to Healthline.com, the general symptoms of diabetes are increased hunger, increased thirst, weight loss, blurry vision, extreme fatigue, frequent urination, and sores that don't heal. As the condition progresses, chronically high blood sugar can increase your risk of complications such as vision loss, heart disease, nerve damage, foot or leg amputation, and kidney disease, according to the American Diabetes Association. And for the end-stage diabetes, excessive thirst and increased urination, unusual infections, unexpected feelings of tiredness happen, and these may end their life. There is still no cure for diabetes, but there are tests for it, such as A1C test, fasting blood sugar test, glucose tolerance test, random blood sugar test, glucose screening test, and glucose tolerance test. There are treatments that diabetes patients can use. The most common one is insulin. It's more used on people who are suffering from type 1 diabetes. There are medications for diabetes such as metformin, sulfonylureas, meglitinides, thiazolidinediones, and etc. But most people who use these medications are type 2 diabetes patients. The most common medication for type 2 diabetes is metformin, and what metformin does is it lowers your blood sugar levels by improving the way your body handles insulin. Though it is not a cure for diabetes, it is effective in preventing or delaying type 2 diabetes in adults. Type 2 diabetes patients can work with a nutritionist to help them plan their healthy diet, lose weight, improve their blood sugar control, and manage diabetes. Researchers are still finding a cure for diabetes, even though it is difficult since this time it's a pandemic. It's COVID-19 spread outside. We are looking at different environmental factors that may cause it, and also they are looking at gene mutations that may cause this. We are also experimenting with beta testing and different drugs. Diabetes is a condition that still has no precise cure, and people need to be conscious of what it is, how it's diagnosed, what medicaments are available, and what researches are being done to find a cure. People who suffer from diabetes without any medications and proper diets face demise in the future.